Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the big topics. And today, boy, have we got a real head-scratcher from the world of football for you.
Okay, let's start with a bit of a puzzle. It was a pretty terrible week in Europe for some of the big English clubs, right? Knocked out, sent packing. So how on earth is the Premier League now on the very brink of gaining an extra super valuable spot in the Champions League? I know, it sounds totally backward, but we're going to show you exactly how it's possible. So to understand how this can happen, we first have to look at what was, honestly, a really weird week of results for the English teams competing in Europe.
So, yeah, the headlines were all about the big names getting knocked out, but that's not the whole story. Not by a long shot. While they were struggling, other English teams in the Europa League and the Conference League were getting crucial wins. And when you add it all up, it actually turned out to be a pretty successful week for the Premier League overall. And that brings us to the real reason this is all happening. It's a brand new rule from UEFA, and believe me, it has completely changed the game for Europe's biggest leagues. It's called the European Performance Spot, or EPS. You can just think of it as a golden ticket, really. It's a bonus prize that UEFA gives to the two countries whose clubs, as a group, perform the best across a single European season. It's a massive reward. And how it works is actually pretty simple. UEFA basically tallies up all the points every club from one country earns. Then they divide that total by the number of clubs that started out, and that gives you an average score. The two countries with the highest average score at the end of the season, boom, they get the extra spot.
Okay, so let's check out the standings. Imagine this is a league table, but instead of clubs, it's entire countries battling it out for this season's bragging rights. And as you can see, England is sitting very comfortably at the top with a massive score. I mean, to put that in perspective, that score is already higher than what the second-best country managed across the entire last season. So yeah, they're in an incredibly strong position. In fact, that lead is so big, the Premier League is now just one single draw away from mathematically locking it all up. Just 1 point from any of the 5 teams they have left, and that extra spot is theirs. It's practically a done deal.
If you look at the chasing pack, Spain seems to have that second spot pretty much on lock. They still have 6 teams in the running, which helps a lot. But everyone else, they're falling way behind. Germany and Portugal just don't have enough teams left to make up the ground. So at this point, it's looking like a 2-horse race that's, well, already been won. So this is where it gets really, really interesting. How these points are actually calculated. Because, as you're about to see, not all points are created equal. Not even close.
Okay, the basics are easy enough. Any win for any team in any of the 3 European competitions gets your country 2 points. Simple, right?
And a draw gets you 1 point. Still with me? Good. But here comes the twist, the part that really skews the entire system. The real game changer here is the bonus points. These are extra points you get for getting through different stages of the tournaments. And they are heavily, and I mean heavily, weighted toward one competition. And this is just a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Get this. Teams that got knocked out of the Champions League early on still walked away with 6 bonus points. Meanwhile, the team that finished first in its Conference League group only got 4. You heard me right. Failing in the Champions League is worth more than succeeding in the Conference League. It's wild. And that imbalance just keeps going in the knockout rounds. Making it through a round of the Champions League gets you 1.5 bonus points. In the Conference League, you get a measly 0.5 point. The system is basically designed to make sure the big leagues, the ones with the most teams in the Champions League to begin with, almost always get these extra spots. So let's bring this all back home. How does this actually affect the Premier League table? And what does it mean for the teams scrambling for those European places?
Okay, here's a look at the top of the league. Now, normally, we all know the drill. The top 4 get into the Champions League, and 5th place has to settle for the Europa League.
But now, with that extra spot all but guaranteed, 5th place is suddenly that golden ticket we were talking about. It's now a Champions League spot. So as things stand, Liverpool will get a massive upgrade from the Europa League right into the big time. And because of that, the race for 5th is now absolutely electric. Just look at how tight that is. Teams are desperate to get that spot now because it comes with all the prestige and, of course, all of the money of Europe's top competition. So here's the bottom line. It might have felt like a bad week for English football, but it's actually been a fantastic week for the Premier League as a whole. It has completely changed the game for European qualification, and it leaves us with one final question to think about. With so much on the line, has the battle for 5th place just become the most exciting race in all of football?